Does anybody know this song? Did this song make it to Arizona yet? I feel like we're in the wild, wild west, even though there are buildings and freeways. I still feel a little bit like we're in the wild, wild west. It's just a simple song. It says, and this is how I fight my battles. It's like the verse. And this is how I fight my battles. You say, well, I don't know it. What do you do now? And this is how I fight my battles. That's the whole song. You can sing along, or I'll just sing it by myself. And this is how I fight my battles. That's it. And this is how I fight my battles. 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 You're like, well, what kind of song is that? How did that change your year? It changed my year because it underscored something that I believe at the very core of my being. And that is that worship is a weapon. Well, come on, if you believe it, you can go ahead and clap. A little bit tonight. Worship is not for the artsy ones in the church. Worship isn't for the musically inclined. Worship isn't just something that we do before the talk. Worship isn't just a few songs in the mix. Worship is a weapon. And in the darkest of nights, worship is a wrecking ball to the power of hell. Like, what is, I don't even know what you're talking about. Jehoshaphat, leading the people of God. 3 armies were coming against him from different directions. Basically, the messenger said, you're done. Jehoshaphat did what every great leader does. He didn't go to his playbook. He didn't hulk up in his own sense of who he was and say, well, they just don't know who Jehoshaphat is. He did what every great leader does. He got down on his face on the ground, and he cried out to God, and he said these words. He said, we don't know what to do, but our eyes are on you. Can we just say that maybe together? That might be a good thing to take away tonight. I don't know what to do, but my eyes are on you. Let's say that together. I don't know what to do, but my eyes are on you. Man, could we just like resign from being in charge of the universe tonight? Yes? Could we resign from being in charge of our companies tonight? Our organizations? Can I get an amen, Pastor? Can we resign from being in charge of the economy? Can we resign from being in charge of the hearings in Washington? Can we resign from being in charge of justice? That doesn't mean we're relinquishing and stepping up where God calls us. It just means that we're not running much. We're not sovereign God. We're sheep under the care of a good shepherd who loves us. And when we say, I don't know what to do, we're saying normally what's true, which is, I don't know what to do. But instead of just bailing at that moment and putting a period at the end of that depression, we acknowledge the greatest thing of all, which is, God, my eyes are on you. Jehoshaphat didn't even say my eyes are on the armies. He said my eyes are on you. My eyes are on you, God. My eyes are on you. And God spoke to him. I love it. He said, hey, here's what's going to happen tomorrow. Tomorrow you're going to go out to fight. So you are going to get up and show up. So we're going to get up and show up. Even to the cancer treatment tomorrow, we're going to get up and show up, right? To the circumstance, to the storm, to the challenge, to the trial, we're going to get up and we're going to show up. We're not going to sit back in our, hide away in the easy chair of grace and say, God, you do everything and I can't do anything because I'm not in charge of anything. No, we're going to get up and show up. But when he showed up, he said, when you show up, here's what I want you to do. I want you to put the choir out in front of the army. I love it, man. Can you see the looks on the worship team's face on that day? Skinny jeans and all. Here we go. Line them up. and you're going to sing this song. Now this is where I'm leading into the text. I'm like, what is the song? It's got to be the baddest song in the history of songs. Do you hear us roar? And then the song would go something like, we're coming in the power and the name of God Almighty, and we're going to rip your heads off. We'll gouge your eyes out, shove them down your throat. You'll regret the day you ever came against us, bro. No, they went out singing this song. Give thanks to the Lord. His love endures forever. Can you hear them coming now? And the armies are all in the hills, and they're like, what is happening? I don't know. It looks like some kind of a ploy. Some kind of a ruse, so we're not going to fall for it. It looks like a choir coming out before them. We've never seen this before. I bet they've got weapons under their robes, though, so let's eyes on the choir. Well, what are they singing? I don't know. Let's get someone to translate. What are they saying? They're saying, are you ready? Give thanks to the Lord. His love endures forever. Oh, that's making us shake in our boots. They were declaring a good God and a loving Father who is never going to let his people down. And by the time Jehoshaphat and the armies came over the hill, all three armies had turned on each other and themselves, and the battle was over. Praise went ahead in the fight, and God did what man could not do. And so tonight, the greatest thing I believe that you can do in the pit is to praise. Now, I'm not going to offer that's the only thing you need to do. If you need help, get help. If you need to seek out help, please seek out help. It may be years that got you in the hole, and it may be days, weeks, or months that get you out of the hole. I fell in the one I went in almost overnight, and I didn't get out of it fully for about 6 or 8 months, and not to where I felt like myself again until a year or two beyond that. We don't get in these things quick, and we normally don't get out of them quick. But things can change in them instantly that can impact everything that happens from that point forward. And I know the thing for me, among all the things that God was using in my life, that absolutely was the game-changing moment, was a song of praise that God gave me about 2 in the morning, about 4.5 months into this struggle. At the most desperate night of my life on this earth. And somehow from heaven, a song dropped into my heart. Be still, my soul, there's a healer. His love is deeper than the sea. His mercy is unfailing. His arms are refuge for the weak. And I sang it over and over and over and over. That's all I had. Someone named Chris Tomlin later came with a chorus, I lift my hands to believe again. And I sang that little verse over and over and over and over for hours and days. And that little phrase was a sword that pierced the darkness and led me into the light. Things didn't change overnight, but I had a song the next night when the cloud of dew came. It's like David looking up at a 9.5-foot giant, and he said to the Philistine, you come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. Oh, he had a sling, and it was loaded and aimed. He had a rod in the other hand that he mentioned earlier. He killed a lion and a bear while guarding his father's
flock. And in both cases, he said, with this same rod that is in my hand right now, I beat the bear to death and I beat the lion to death. So I'm taking him down with a rock, but I'm going to beat him to death with the rod. And I'm coming ready to do what no man here is willing to do. But the reason that fear didn't keep him on the hillside and faith caused them to run into the valley of Elah was because his eyes were not on the giant. His eyes were on someone far greater than the giant. His eyes were on the King of Kings. And when he came running, he didn't say, I come against you with a sling and a rod. He said, I come against you with a name. And I'm just offering, maybe this is the key for you tonight. It's not one more this and one more that and another coffee with a friend and another conversation with so-and-so and another one of these and another one of those. Maybe for you, the power tonight is a name. And maybe the power is actually in your mouth right now. And while the giant has said to you, you're going to shut up, because I got my foot on your chest right now. And you're just going to pipe down. Because I've got you by the throat. And maybe God's Spirit is stirring inside you tonight. To say, man, maybe there is a giant in your story. All of us are acknowledging that. But there's a God who's got your whole battlefield surrounded.